What's up, everyone? We are here with Kyle Sutton. Kyle is our Director of Product Development here at Iron Tribe Fitness. I'm Jim Cavell, President here at Iron Tribe, and Kyle, so happy you're here. And before we even get started, let's talk about who Kyle Sutton is, because a lot of people don't know you. Start off with, where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Pulaski, New York. Very cold part of the country, lots of snow, and made my way down to Birmingham in 2013.
Cool. And fitness has been something that you've always had a passion for, but more recently since college. Talk about your history with fitness.
So I got my bachelor's in exercise science, and then after I was done playing baseball, I went back to get my master's in exercise physiology. I was lucky enough to get involved with a guy by the name of Lee Taft, who's one of the foremost speed coaches in the world, multi-directional speed coaches in the world. And he was able to, over the course of 2 years, teach me a lot about the strength and conditioning field that I didn't get in college, a lot of that practical information, how to deal with athletes, how to program, and also a little bit about business too during that time, because we were kind of a private business just starting off. So I was very lucky to have him as a mentor, and it helped really shape my training philosophy across the board, and started to pursue certifications in National Strength and Conditioning Association, my CSCS, USA weightlifting, things like that, sport performance coach, and then Russian kettlebells and things like that. All stuff that would help me in the collegiate strength and conditioning world and working with athletes.
And just talk about how hard it is in an environment like Iron Tribe to help people choose safety over score.
Yeah, a big thing we've been talking about lately is really what's the goal of the athlete. And if the goal of the athlete is to be fit, to be healthy, to lose weight, then there's really no reason to be pushing them extra hard on a movement that they don't have great capacity in yet, or understanding of, or technique in.
Sure.
So it's really about managing options for those people, and those options come in the form of scaling. And that could be scaling the movement, it could be scaling the volume, it could be scaling the intensity or the speed or the range of motion. We can scale all of those things. Now, if we get a person that's really geared toward performance, then we're managing more of their compromises. We're willing to assume a little bit more risk in their training and push their bodies a little bit harder to get the type of results that those type of people want. And really, it's all about the coach knowing what's the goal of the athlete, what really drives them, what brought them into Iron Tribe, and keeping the program, which is really just kind of one program up there for everybody, but it's the coach's ability to tailor that program and make it just right for each person in the class. That's the magic.
What is the coach methodology? I've heard of the 3 C's. Obviously, I know them really well, but many people that are watching may not. And then how do we train and evaluate our coaches to hold them accountable to these 3 C's?
Well, I think the first thing we should talk about is the initial training. For a coach, once they're hired into Iron Tribe, they have an incredible amount of resources available to them to get them caught up to speed in terms of how we want to deliver our program. So we have our CPP process, our Coach Practicum program, which allows coaches to spend 3 weeks here in Birmingham and really get involved in the culture and learn from the best coaches here in Birmingham, and learn straight from our director of training, Lou and Wynn, how to do all of the class structure pieces that we have in our program. So after going through the CPP, then it culminates with a 101 coaches weekend, which is really 2 very intense days of demonstrating that they know how to execute what we're trying to do on the floor. And it's an extremely difficult weekend. A lot of people, it's very high stress, but we know if they can handle the 101, they can deliver our program out on the floor. Once they're out on the floor in their own gyms and all spread throughout the country, we go out and we evaluate them on the, what we call TCR, the Triple C rating, and we're looking at, are they delivering on class structure? There's 6 pieces of every class that need to be there, and we're going to evaluate if they're delivering those at a very high level. As far as coaching goes, that's our next C. We're looking at, are they identifying people's faulty movements? Are they giving them a strategy to improve? Are they implementing that strategy well during the class? And then are they getting good results from people? So it's one thing if people are coming in and they're having a great time every time, but if they're not getting results, then they're probably less likely to come back. And we want to keep people progressive and sustainable in our program.
Right.
And then the last C is culture. We know that when we walk into a gym, we want it to feel alive. We want people to be chatting with each other, chatting with the coaches, just having a good time, networking, but also, getting after it too, and really doing things well. That's all a part of culture. So really, if we can see all of those things, all of those 3 C's hitting at a high level, we know that gym is poised for some good growth.